Oh, yeah. And they're what they stand in the league, you know. Came back quicker than he was supposed to from his knee operation, and he attributes a lot of it to Stricker. You know who I mean, the trainer? I'll point them out when they come out. Or even during the commercial, I'll show you, you know. They don't have a Bandit, Cal, do they?
Disappointment. But these Y2K Hoosiers are once again ranked among the nation's elite. They're led by Player of the Year candidate A.J. Guyton. This senior guard has been on fire all season. Guyton has opponents seeing plenty of red. At Michigan, it now seems like ancient history when the Fab Five were ruling the basketball world. This year's squad has fallen on hard times, losing 5 in a row. It's time for them to turn it up a notch. A win today against Indiana would go a long way toward proving Brian Ellerby's Wolverines tournament worthy. From Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor, Michigan, it's NCAA basketball on CBS. Today, the 9th-ranked Indiana Hoosiers face the Michigan Wolverines in a Big Ten battle. Indiana, the surprise team in college basketball, unranked and predicted to finish 6th in the Big Ten during the preseason. They control their own destiny with 6 conference games remaining. Hello and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson along with Bill Raftery. Coach, Indiana playing some solid basketball this year.
Well, when you think of Indiana, you think of defense getting all over you. Well, they still do that, but they also have an outstanding performer in the backcourt. A lot of people think he could be considered Player of the Year. Outstanding penetrator, but guess what's more important? He gets free. He understands how to use the bumps, the myriad of positions they put their post people to free him, and he knocks down the three as well.
The Michigan Wolverines have a dynamic freshman in Lavelle Blanchard. He grew up around the corner from this place.
A lot like yourself, very smooth, but he's good with the basketball as well. He understands how to get close to the rim. He can step outside, knock down the deep shot. He's another guy that can penetrate, use some screens, and oh, is he wonderful around the rim. He can finish with the best of them.
Wolverines in desperate need of a win. They've lost 5 straight. Coming up, the starting lineup and the opening tip from Ann Arbor.
CBS Sports.
9th year at Indiana. His team coming off a 77-75 loss to Minnesota February 9th. And the lineup, Haston and Newton in the front court. They use 3 guards, Fife, Lewis, and A.J. Guyton. Ryan Ellerby, 3rd year as the head coach for the Michigan Wolverines. 49-36 record, and his starting lineup, they're paced by freshmen Lavelle Blanchard, the freshman from Ann Arbor, Young and Smith, and in the backcourt, Leon Jones and Kevin Gaines, another true freshman. Michigan, Indiana. Indiana winning the first matchup between these two in Bloomington. Hightower, Sylvester, Welmer, the officials. And the tap controlled by the Wolverines.
And Gus Johnson, the Hoosiers of Indiana. Minute.
Gaines draws Guyton, penetrates and kicks.
With denial, they go over the three-point line to contest passes.
Jones with the running jump shot inside. And it's rebounded by Jeffrey Newton. Dane Fife, who is from Clarkston, Michigan. Brother Dugan played here for the Wolverines. Also his father, Dan. He chose to go to Indiana.
Everybody touched it. Good looking jumper. A little kiss. Inadvertent smooch, I think.
Jeffrey Newton, the freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Good with the basketball, coming along, understands the game. Look at this denial. Pretty good matchup for him there with Blanchard.
Kicks out. Jones for 3. It's short. Lewis with the rebound. Pull-up jump shot in traffic is good.
Well, you don't want to let them get out of the gate easily. Indiana, particularly this club, has had trouble early in the last few games, Michigan.
Young in the low post. And it's knocked away, and the Wolverines turn it over.
Numbers.
Guyton, nice touch pass, back to Fife, count it, and the foul.
And a quick timeout by Brian Ellerby. Well, Fife is a guy a lot of people thought would end up in Michigan. His brother Dugan, a performer here. But Brian, not happy with the start. Nice touch passing.
18:41 to go here in the first half of play. Indiana running and gunning already. Oh, is this how it's going to sound when we come back? Okay, because I wasn't hearing natural sound in my ear. Thank you. There you go. I like that sound. You got it.
What do you think here, Gus?
They got trouble.
7-zip if he makes this one. Yeah, Fife.
Who?
Yeah, you might as well slip it in, right? It fits.
We you know what?
Might need it later is what you're thinking, yeah.
Hoosiers out of the gate quickly. They lead 6-0. And the Merrill Lynch keys to the game.
Well, ever since his days at Army, they get after people, take away passing lanes, and it's fit for a night. Post strength by that, go inside, good passing there. Hasted a terrific score, but also finds people. Michigan, they got a minch and match, change the D, but right now the offense is not preparing. They're having their problems because of the aggressive Indiana D.
So Dane Fife, the sophomore from Clarkston, Michigan, misses the free throw.
Bob Knight was concerned about their runouts and Gaines penetration. Right now it's Guyton's job, and Blanchard took care of it.
Gaines, tough jump shot. High bounce, knocked out of bounds, and we head the other way.
And Blanchard, in a sense, just takes away, in a moving sense, you know, that's one of those. Guyton did the right thing, didn't get the call. And Bob Knight not amused by it either. Here's the matchup zone that Brian told both of us he might use. Try and confuse. They got to tag Guyton deep, Gus. They'll follow on occasion, as they did that time. Smith went with Guyton. Occasionally they'll stay. Here's the exchange outside by Gaines to Fife.
Haston, turnaround baseline jump shot short.
Little tip.
Loose ball. Haston reloads and draws the foul.
And Young, aggressive. You know, Indiana, one of those teams that gets off early. Bob talked today about Notre Dame early in the year, too. They got way ahead and they let them back in. But the last 4 games, Minnesota, they were ahead and in control, Gus. And Minnesota stuck back and won it on a Pryzbilla field goal.
77-75 to score in that game as Haston sinks the first free throw. Indiana beat Michigan 85-50 on January 25th. Michigan shot 16 of 64 from the field. And Indiana got off to a very quick run.
And no confidence whatsoever by Michigan on offense that particular game.
Almost the same story, 8-0. Hoosiers on top of the Wolverines. Blanchard for three and hits.
Well designed to go straight down. Lavelle pops out. You've got to execute against Indiana. They're extraordinary at disrupting.
Played an Ann Arbor Pioneer. Great mid-range jump shooter. Haston on the baseline. Cut off, but counting.
And Young with another one. Well, Haston, yeah, you were chatting with him before the game about that Tennessee hook. He's got some ability with other shots. He has a great drop step to the center of the floor. Understands how to compete. Now he drop steps back on this particular play, but a great feel. Here they take away the hook because that's the side he comes. Nice double by Michigan. Negates that attempt, but Young gets caught underneath.
Kirk Haston, a junior from Lobelville, Tennessee. Averaging 16 points and 9 rebounds on the season.
In the last play with Blanchard involved, they have to pass the ball, reverse it, get their screens. Here's the post rubs. Blanchard very good without the basketball, and good help by Lewis.
And the possession arrow in the favor of the Hoosiers.
And guys, the thing about Indiana is they frustrate you because they're always in position. You've got to make good passes, good cuts, and good screens consistently. Notice how Haston is played away from the basket. He's got a great stroke, 15 feet.
17 on the shot clock. Haston sets himself, draws the foul. Change that. Traveling the call.
I'll tell you what, I thought he should have been on the foul line. But he does have a lot of opportunities to touch. You've got to deny front, get some weak side help, and that'll open up other things for the Indiana players.
Brandon Smith in the game. Ball stolen. Lewis straight to the basket and lays it in with the left hand.
Feisty loves the body search around the rim. He leaves it all out there for 40.
Michael Lewis, senior from Jasper, Indiana. Great playmaker. Gaines to the basket. And how about that for Blanchard?
And then he'll get back. Fife on a run out.
Five straight to the hole and lays it in.
Well, that's enjoying one another there on the offensive end as Blanchard with the rearrangement, and Brian's upset at the lack of balance.
16-18 to go in the first half of play. It's been all Indiana so far.
I'm here. You want me to take it, Gus?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Gus, he's not a florist, but Lavelle Blanchard can rearrange. Here's a great finish, but watch the heads, Gus. And this is just a cardinal rule. You've got to see the ball and sprint back, and this is what caused the timeout by Ellerby. Nobody back. Fife strumming a nice tune to the 10.
14-5, Indiana. First meeting, they got off to a 25-2 run as they blew out the Michigan Wolverines. Smith across the lane, nice acrobatic move, but comes up short.
Everything but. And Big Near in there, see if they can use him on offense.
Right in the baseline lob, and Newton steps on the out-of-bounds line. 15:47 to go, first half of play. 14.
The idea of not getting back. Now, he's usually pretty docile on the sideline.
Yeah.
Gus likes being home.
Yeah, I would like to see
home
him
games
play a little better. (14-5), Indiana on top of Michigan. 15:47 to go here in the first half. When these two teams met 3 weeks ago, Kirk Haston led Indiana with 19 points, but the big story was Michigan's inability to score. The Wolverines hit just 4 of their first 30 shots and finished shooting a season-low 25% as Bob Knight's Hoosiers came away with a 35-point win.
And Brian Ellerby has discussed that game and looked at some tape to jack his club up. But it's the turnovers leading to hoops, and then that one where they didn't get back.
Blanchard lobs it inside into the hands of Groniger, and he lays it in. Change that, Vigneer. And the Wolverines get back into the 2-3 zone.
And you know, even that play, they had traffic. They didn't clear the area for Vigneer to work. They got away with one. Little matchup right here.
Guyton from deep. Blanchard goes up high and a whistle and foul. Jeffrey Newton over the back.
Indiana's solid rebounding team, out rebounds for the season by 4. The opponent, a good solid checkout.
So on the floor for Michigan, Kevin Gaines along with Vigneer, Blanchard, Jones, and Groniger. Gaines, hesitation, dribble to the basket, bad shot, out of bounds and last touch by the Wolverines.
Don't force it.
The Players Matchups feature lets you select any 2 players from top 25 teams and compare them in a head-to-head breakdown. Just click on cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online at keyword CBS Sportsline.
A nice flash there by Haston, and Vigneer a little bit late. And they've found the little seam. Now, the one thing about tape, Bob Knight was telling me this morning that against Illinois, they saw this kind of a matchup. So they feel they're ready to exploit it. And one of the areas is flashing and turning. And Haston, one of the better guys in the country, at that.
Dane Fife, very good defensive player. Inside, turnaround jumper off the heel for Newton.
And Vignier with a great checkout. So important they don't give Indiana a second opportunity. Nice show by Newton.
Jones almost has it poked away and a reach-in foul.
And they got to walk.
Making a travel.
Now, guys, I know you didn't guard because I've seen a lot of your game. But Indiana moves you further out to the sideline. And Brian frustrated. You catch it where you're not able to take advantage. You're the vulnerable guy, not attacking the defense.
14-7. Michigan trying to slow down the pace. Haston baseline pull-up.
Good solid offensive game. Didn't go too deep where he would charge. Good selection.
Haston with 6 points. And it's a 16-7 ball game so far.
Vignier trying to load up, and you can just see the traffic around him.
Blanchard for 3. Rebounded by Fife.
Great check out. The guards can help.
Fife cut off. Dribbles it off of his foot and picked up by Gaines.
Well, there's the hometown reaction because he didn't choose Michigan.
Indiana foul number 11, Dane Fife. That is his first personal, second Indiana team foul.
You got to protect the basketball. And Michigan with the assistance Gaines on the top side, you can see the frustration vented.
First foul on Dane Fife. His brother Dugan is the color analyst for Michigan basketball on the radio. Gaines, great D by A.J. Guyton, knocked out of bounds.
Well, you're forcing shots like that. Everybody used to say Dugan didn't versus Dan first there, huh? That's tough. And there's Dugan, little combo.
WJR radio here in Ann Arbor.
As Duke was accused of never shooting, Mike Lewis with the walk. He was accused of not shooting enough.
That's right.
That 4-shot. That's with
right.
the Fab 5, he had to fit in somewhere.
4th turnover for Indiana. Michigan has 4.
They had a pretty good athlete in his own right.
Played in Michigan, and he's got the Indiana red on today.
I think he's got a blue underneath, so when he walks outside, he doesn't have any problems.
Vignier, big jump hook over Haston.
Well, he did a little article in the paper this morning. He's a little frustrated not getting some minutes. Well, getting some prime time here, and defensively, he's at a lapse. Got to run back and get the denial position.
Haston with 8 points, 18-9. Indiana on top of Michigan. Now Gaines works the high pick and roll. Inside Vignier, ceiling, power dribble, count it, and the foul.
The big fella with a drop step. Oh my goodness.
And he's from your neck of the woods, Teaneck, New Jersey.
The Teaneck guy, Bergen County. And here's the little jump hook, a little nylon delivery. And when the traffic isn't there, he had a drop step. It wasn't the quickest you've seen. It wasn't Olajuwon-ish, but extraordinary ability to use the rim to ward off. And Hastings gets called for it. Let him set up too deep.
So Peter Vignier averaging only 13 minutes per game. At the free throw line, he has 6 points.
He was analyzing his career in a sense that he played more last year, not much this year. But the one reward, he said he's concentrated so much. A nice offensive rebound by Smith. The kick.
Groninger for 3. Michigan with a golden opportunity on that trip. Now Lewis picked up by Groninger. Richardson on the baseline. Walks.
Good call. Eddie Hightower on top of it. But the finish, Vignier's thought as he takes it out. He's such a good student that he said he feels if he didn't get the minutes the rest of the year, he succeeded here at Michigan. If he does get more minutes, he thinks he can help the team.
That's right.
High pick and roll. Pick and stay with Blanchard.
Brandon Smith has battled knee problems. Blanchard picked up by Newton. Vignier really working hard inside. 15 to shoot.
Nice hands by Fife.
Indiana with numbers. Lewis, easy layup.
Think it over, Gus. I mean, other than there's 4 runouts, and once they didn't get back, and once Vignier wasn't ready to play. If they force Indiana to play half court, they've got a chance to get themselves in this game.
20-11. Dane Fife having a good defensive game so far, creating major problems for Michigan on defense. Step back jumper, Smith is good. Pretty play.
What a welcome addition coming off of out of season knee surgery. He and Steve Stricker worked hard to get him back in shape, the trainer for Michigan.
2013, Wolverines trying to put up a fight. Smith has 2 points. 11:18 to go, first half of play. Richardson, rather Newton dips inside, can't get the roll. Vigneer with the rebound.
What a big time move, though. He can put it in the floor and attack the 10. Got to close it off.
He was one of the top 10 recruits out of the state of Georgia. Gaines rims out, loose ball, nice block out by Newton.
Guyton can freeze and stick it or blow by it. Great dribble moves.
Inside, nice scoop. And it's rebounded by Blanchard. Wolverines break out. Gaines crosses over. And what a follow by Brandon Smith.
They love to get it up and down, a little woo-woo. But I thought Guyton just went a little too, should have laid it up instead of trying to stretch for the left at the other end.
Wolverines cut it to 5. And a foul on Blanchard.
Yeah, a little nickel dimer out from the hoop. But they got a little juice in the building, Gus.
We have an officials timeout.
Big time play by Brandon Smith. 20-15.
A long way to go as well. Sitting out a 6-game suspension right now, and he seems to be handling it well for living expenses prior to coming to Michigan. Was it a guardian or was it not a guardian was the question. The NCAA deemed it
Substitution for Indiana, number 44.
He will be back,
yeah.
and he will be back on February 24th.
He said he's been challenged. He said he hopes it helps him grow. Of course, the athletic director as well, part of that difficulty, Tom Goss, the athletic director, resigned as well, Gus. So they've got some things off the court. But the one thing for Brian Ellerby, the administration has reassured him that they're confident what he's done and what he's about to accomplish. So it shouldn't impact on recruiting. Maybe they get things stabilized here at Michigan.
Len Washington in the game for Indiana. Wears number 44. 9 to shoot. Larry Richardson to Fife with 5. Desperation and hit.
What confidence. Groninger right there. But that's a good defensive trip by Michigan. They got to make sure they don't give up transition baskets and be balanced on the D.
Anderson in the game now, a freshman from Massachusetts. Along with Aslan, Groninger. Brandon Smith pops out, faces up on Fife.
Aslan is a solid contributor too if he plays hard around the rim and aggressively. Not a good look here by Smith.
Little out of control for Brandon Smith. 6 turnovers for Brian Ellerby's team. 22-15. Indiana 17-4 on the year. 7-3 in Big Ten play, and Michigan 12-8, 3-6 in the conference. Guyton.
They're helping on Guyton. You see the automatic switch there?
Skip pass, nice look, and counted.
Indiana basket by Len Washington.
Len Washington, his first bucket of the game. Aslan, who lost his starting job, coming off the bench today. Groninger is the shooter. Now Smith.
Aslan's pretty athletic around the rim, so maybe he can do some damage with some putbacks.
And they really force you out.
Look at the swarming. Look at the help baseline. They force it and the charge. Great defensive trip by the Hoosiers. I mean, they set him up, set Brian's guys up for the baseline drive. They trap it down there. Good read.
Monday on lays it up and in.
Pretty good move, whether it's Valentine's Day or not. Nice drop step and finish.
26-15. Michigan has gone flat after making a run. Richardson knocks the ball away.
And once again, the denial. They can't get their entry pass, having trouble. Not as efficient offensively against as strong in the end of the day.
Indiana on a 6-0 run, 26-15, their largest lead of the game. Yeah.
A nice hand for the Michigan dance team.
One foul.
What's the big stat?
I think transition points, if we have it. Do we?
I'll throw that to you.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Ann Arbor. The game summary: Indiana shooting the ball extremely well, 12 of 17 from the field. Gus Johnson along with Bill Raftery. Indiana's transition game very good.
Excellent, and conversely, giving the ball up and not getting back is a problem for Michigan. But this is a case of being solid offensively. What's happening now, the extension we mentioned on Indiana, you've got a dribble entry, you got to get a pressure release, got a back screen, got a pop to the ball. All those things Michigan isn't doing. Now, Indiana's great defensively as well. Thank you very much, Jody. First thing Jody's done right all day.
Talking about the referee, Jody Sylvester. Gaines gets a timeout before falling out of bounds. 30-second timeout.
Michigan calls
So
timeout.
while they talk about it, we will take a step away. 26-15, Indiana. The Academic All-Stars recognize one player on each team for academic excellence. In today's game, the All-Stars are Kirk Haston of Indiana and Josh Aslin of Michigan. 26-15, and a lot of freshmen and sophomores getting opportunities for this Michigan team. It's going to take them, Billy, a little while to get things going here.
Well, the point guard, Gaines, is inexperienced, and he also will take some quick hitters that shouldn't be taken or force a tough shot like he did right there. Now look at the numbers of red shirt, all facing out with an opportunity.
Dane Fife, along with Lewis, Newton, Richardson, and Lynn Washington with the ball. And look at the patience.
We'll kick it back out. Everybody gets a touch, screen, rescreen.
Nice looking play. Rims out, loose ball rebounded by Jones. Newton, wide open shot. Now Jones quickly down the baseline. Can't get it to fall. Dane Fife with the rebound.
One and done. Great checking out by Indiana, and not the best shot selection by Michigan.
Richardson, 15-footer. Ball rebounded by Newton, the freshman. Washington, hard move on the baseline. Into the hands of Jones.
Take your time on this trip now. You don't have to have the quick jack. Run your set, unless it's Lavelle, right?
Quick shots by Michigan.
And it gets you in trouble. You're always on the defensive end. This team just picks you apart.
Dane Fife. Air ball.
Now they got some music to work on.
26-15. 11 points, the biggest lead for Indiana. Now Brandon Smith guarded by Fife. Aslin posting up inside. Here's Aslin. Blanchard with room and hits.
Nice job. Nice relaxing give back out. Best way to score is to let the big guy touch it and kick it out.
Lavelle Blanchard, 7 points. 26-17 our score. Washington, nice ball fake. Loose ball tipped up and in by Richardson.
And even that, you know, Washington makes the great move. It drags two people. They can clean it up on the weak side.
Richardson has an interesting nickname. Gaines misses off the heel of the rim. Richardson with the rebound. And it's picked up by Gaines. They call him Scary Larry.
I saw that. I don't know if you want that the rest of your life. Good control here by Kevin Gaines.
Kevin Gaines 0 for 8 from the field. Now Smith dips inside and travels.
Did you notice Fife set up there for the block as well? There was going to be a charge at the end of that trip. He's a feisty guy. Reads, steals, over 2 a game.
Substitutions into the game. Groninger along with Jones for Michigan. Lewis, Fife in the backcourt for Indiana. Newton, Washington, and Haston in the front court.
They've done a nice job flashing it, making an offensive move, or turning and looking. Look at this. Good exploitation offensively.
Lewis. And they don't miss open shots.
And I know the big guys should be applauding. And they got to stretch that matchup out a little bit further.
Lewis, 9 points. He's 4 for 4 from the field. 31-17.
I guess this is a big trip right here, I think.
Jones for 3.
Does that get him back in? Penetration. Nice job by Gaines.
Haston facing up on Young. Backdoor cut. Fife almost lost it. 19 to shoot. Now Guyton.
It almost forces you to be freelance. Look at this little one dribble. Knock it down, AJ.
First basket of the game for the leading scorer in the Big Ten, A.J. Guyton. What do you tell your guys if you're Brian Ellerby facing a team that plays so well defensively? Young counted and the foul.
Take good shots and offensive rebound. What they've done is rush things and made their own mistakes. They've hurt themselves. Now, granted, Indiana's an extraordinary defensive team, one of the premier ones in the country. But if you take good shots, you can get your big guys in position to do some damaging things, which they haven't done early on in the game. And I think Bob Knight's concern is that they don't play as well as he would like with a lead. So if you know that as an opponent, you'll keep after it, keep pursuing.
So Chris Young, a sophomore from Plymouth, Michigan, can't get the free throw to go. Newton with the board. 33-22. Indiana on top of Michigan.
And they got to really stretch on Lewis and Guyton. That's the problem. It opens up these kind of passing lanes. Not a good look by Newton.
And Newton whizzes it out of bounds. 3:20 to go first half. Back to Ann Arbor after this. Go first half. Tonight on 60 Minutes, the wife beater she just reported to the cops.
And I know you have the difficulty of buying gifts for a lot of people.
Unfortunately,
not just one.
I don't have that problem this year.
Well, one of the problems for Michigan, 10 to 26, 38%. Harry Robinson filling us in with the stats. And Indiana at 60%, 15 for 25. Good drive and the follow.
And Blanchard can't get it to stay down.
He's got quick hops.
Lewis the other way. Guyton wide open in the corner.
Oh, he just puts that dagger in, and Lewis with the recognition. You can't get back and get out quick enough on AJ.
Indiana shooting 61% from the field, 16 of 26. Hoosiers lead 36-22.
Gosh, look how close in the passing lane they are. Gamble by Guyton trying to cover on Gaines.
Gaines kicks it out. Groninger.
And the Indiana guy, he wants a little payback. He struggled down there at Bloomington.
He was recruited to play at Purdue, opted to come to the University of Michigan. Runner-up, Indiana Mr. Basketball. Inside, Washington fouled from behind by Blanchard.
And number 2.
Now coming half.
And Tom Landry brings up so many great memories when he was an assistant coach with Lombardi for the Giants. A friend of mine, Alex Webster, was a player. They all had such great respect for him, and of course lived a extraordinary life.
And talking about respect, Bob Knight, a living legend on the sidelines, 3 national championships, one of the winningest coaches in the history of college basketball. We had a chance to speak with him last night. And he was really engaging.
Well, maybe for you. I wasn't that impressed. You know,
you're killing me.
He loves the game. Nice hands by Lewis. Groninger with the giveaway, and then Gaines. But he dies with his team. I mean,
he really does. That's one thing I noticed yesterday.
Passion. You know, you try and pay him a compliment about his defense. So look at this. Lewis with just wonderful hands, Groninger, and then the eventual giveaway. You've got to respect the ball, but you also got to respect his ability to teach his players how to respond defensively.
So Lewis at the free throw line. Lewis was a prolific scorer growing up, and he's a better assist man at Indiana. The Hoosier daddy, Bob Knight.
He was handing out candy at Northwestern. He knows how to make love, make peace, and win.
It is about winning at Indiana. 11 points for Lewis. He's right at his season average. Largest lead of the game for the Hoosiers, 40-25.
This is an important trip now. You got to get to the foul line or get a goal. So reverse the ball, use your screens, duck-ins. Young down on the box, maybe give him a touch, see if we can do some damage.
Here is power dribble, blocked. Newton got a hand on it. Indiana 3-on-2 break. And Washington finds Guyton.
They'll always break you down. Pump fake.
Kyle Hornsby, number 32 in the game, and Lewis whizzes that one right out of bounds.
I don't know if anybody could have caught that one, huh? Maybe one of the Tigers, but a little heat on that as Mike goes back. I met his grandfather in the lobby today, and what didn't surprise me, he just said that if he doesn't play, he wants to coach. Doesn't he look like the kind of guy that the grandfather said, I played for my dad, and Mike played for his dad. So the lineage goes on in the Lewis family.
Jasper, Indiana. Averaged 31.5 points a game for Jasper High School. Here's Gaines, jump stop, another bad shot. And that's probably the fourth bad shot he's taken today.
Well, you just got to play within it, get everybody else involved, give what the defense, or take what the defense gives you. That time he forced it.
Michigan 11 of 31 from the field, 35%. Kevin Gaines, the freshman from Las Vegas, is 0 for 9 from the field.
And there's a giveaway. You've gotten a chance. McNear on the baseline. We mentioned how good he is without the ball. And you just see here McNear with the discard, the little elbow, a little Tavern League shove there.
A.J. Guyton from Peoria, Illinois. Senior, preseason All-America. Second team All-Big Ten last year. As he averaged 16 points a game, those numbers up. He's averaging 20.
And Gus, he's the kind of guy that could become player of the year in this league. And some national implications. You know, Mo Pete, another guy that everybody has seen in big games. Of course, Mateen Cleaves back after that injury. Sweeney Penn, another guy. Well, they are really struggling trying to ring the bell. Good effort.
Blanchard.
He's got some juice, too. And he likes to play. He knows he's going to have to step up in a magnificent fashion. If you miss, you must pursue. Good balance in the backcourt. Indiana, as Bob Knight pointed out, having some problems on occasion, sticking people and riding them out.
Blanchard with 19 points in the first meeting, 7 of 19 shooting.
Now, Brian Ellerby doesn't have the luxury of going out and pressing and trying to shake them up or trapping. They don't have the depth or the experience. So the key for them now is they use the timeout instead of wasting it. Bob Knight getting his club as to what they want to do.
30-second timeout called by Indiana. Back in a moment.
Boy, defense on the road, huh? Hey, Mons. Monzy, could you dig up for the second half? It's pretty extraordinary. His road record, Bob Knight. Career or Big Ten career, whichever. Big Ten career.
(42-28). Indiana on top of Michigan. 32 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Brian Ellerby's nursed his club. They're not in foul problems, but the difficulty is shot selection. And conversely, Bob Knight, I think his team had a peak efficiency on the defensive end, other than a few blockouts and post-ups.
About a 1/10 of a second between the game clock and the shot clock. So Indiana will play for one. Lewis has to keep advancing the basketball. Guarded by Groninger. 10 to go. Haston, 15-footer. And he gets the roll.
With him. He's got such a great touch, in or out.
Gains from half court. And that's the end of the first half. 11 points for Lewis, 10 for Haston. Indiana up 44-28. Tim Brando will be along with Pennzoil at the half right after this message and a word from your local station. Leading Michigan 44-28. Gus Johnson along with Bill Raftery. This Indiana team, they will get right in your face and D you up.
They can decimate your offense, and that's why I think Brian Ellaby just came out a minute ago. I think he's disgruntled, obviously, but also the penetration, not finding people, rushing into bad shots. But you don't shoot well unless you get opportunities off of screens, off of dumping it inside, moving your guys around, reversing the basketball, and that's reflected in these numbers. Just not good, and conversely, you see Indiana just stroking the ball, and the points off the turnovers. Indiana will put you away, plus throw in Michael Lewis, the feisty, crafty veteran, dishing, knocking down whatever they need.
Haston also has 10 points. There's Michael Lewis.
Michigan will take the
He
ball
came
out of
into the
bounds
season
to begin
needing
the
only
second half.
151 assists to become Indiana's all-time leader. He averages 5 assists per game. Start of the second half. Michigan with the basketball. They run the weave up top. Blanchard, and it's knocked away into the hands of Fife.
Gotta hold them off in there, Chris Young. Gotta reach for the ball. Not the way you want to start. And by the way, it's Quinn Buckner that Mike Lewis is chasing. Not
Exactly.
a bad. There's Bob talking about he and Isaiah Thomas last night, the way they could run a club and the toughness.
Lewis off the mark, rebounded by Blanchard, and a reaching foul.
Fife always scrapping down there, trying to grab a hold of it. But don't give Indiana second chances. Balance the floor. Run your offense. All the things I'm sure Brian Ellaby addressed at halftime. Played for Tom Young at Rutgers, so I know he knows a little bit about the game.
Fife called for his 3rd foul. Also played with John Battle. Went on to professional success.
Remember telling us John didn't play a whole lot in the nice open look here. They get one of those, run the stop, Blanchard able to knock it down. Said Battle got better his 3rd year, was patient, got the minutes, and then had a long running NBA career with the Hawks.
44-30. Blanchard consistent. He has 12 points, 7 rebounds.
Straight up man.
Here's AJ picked up quickly by Jones. Ball fake, fouled from behind.
They look like they're after it a little more, Gus. You know, you've got to take the challenge. And you move it without the basketball. You just see the little pop out by Lavelle Blanchard. Good understanding that time. The synchronization properly done. He's got a lot of ability. Fortunately, he moved across the street here. Didn't have to change the
Did not
zip
have
code.
a long commute. Ann Arbor Pioneer is literally across the street from the University of Michigan.
Those are sometimes the hardest recruits.
You think? Because they want to get away.
Yeah, they figure, well, you know, I've watched them. Let me go make my name elsewhere. His mom is happy. Said he gets home for those home-cooked meals.
Oh, the whole team, I bet.
And you can relate to that, too, this weekend.
That's right. Blanchard across the lane. Now Gaines. He struggled from the field. 0 for 9. Blanchard deep.
He can stroke it. Now that drags you out. And the dribble becomes his ally now.
15 points for Cheryl's son, Lavelle. And it's a 46-33 game. Indiana on top of Michigan.
You will not meet a more polite individual. gave you a sir. And there's Mom, Cheryl looking on. He's got the whole package. Good student, good person, and a little bit of a force here by Newton. They're rushing themselves now.
Back to Guyton for 3.
And that's a killer because they should have had the rebound. Instead, AJ with the dagger.
49-33. Blanchard again, guarded by Fife. Big fella, McNear inside, poked away by Haston.
Gave it up to, look at Haston, throw it up.
Nice lob, Haston. Saved it from going out of bounds. Triple team, blocked by Young.
And that's one of what he should be able to catch and finish, don't you think, Gus?
No question. Now Jones, who has been quiet offensively, to Young. Out of the Catholic Central. Had it blocked, reloads. Count it.
Staying after it. Pretty good interior defense by Indiana. Did everything but on that trip. But the stick-to-itiveness and something that Brian seems to address. Touches inside, getting the opportunities, the collaboration by Newton and Haston, and the ability to finish and keep after it by Young. Tom Lagarde out of Catholic Central. I had a young guy, Chris Rizanka, years ago. Outstanding prep school in the Detroit area. You probably know of them too, being hometown.
Catholic Central?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bernie Holowicki, their longtime head coach, is not at CC anymore. 49-36. Young has the free throw. He got the start in place of Aslan today because he's been really playing hard in practice.
And here comes the jump right now. This is they were man-to-man, and now they go to the jump. Try and confuse and throw off the Hoosiers. Guyton's the guy. Finds holes, keeps active.
Wide open. Rimmed out, Haston with the tip.
And there's your margin of error. You don't identify and stick anybody in that particular defense.
Michigan unable to block out. 51-36 the score. Now Blanchard. Gaines, can he get one? 0 for 10. McNear, rebound. Jones straight away. Young with the rebound.
Patience now.
Gaines again. Continues to force up shots. Young, rebound, and count it.
How about him? A little energy, too, the two big guys. Well, usually the dynamism on the team is on the perimeter. But right now, the juice flowing from the inside people, and Bob Knight lamenting the inability to rebound. But on this particular play, it's just knowing where you are. Court awareness. You're under the rim. The little kiss reverse. That's great to see. McNear's even fouling Young on that chest bump.
So Chris Young, very hard worker, Brian Ellerby told us, adds the free throw. He's coming up with a solid game, 8 points at 2 at halftime. Michigan trying to make a run, but it all starts on the defensive end.
Leon on the baseline. They're trying to keep tabs with Guyton.
Haston travels.
Jody, Bob Knight, a little upset because he felt that he was pushed or fouled. And Jody and he have gone to wars. Jody, 40 years an official. He's got bad ears.
According to a former coach. Now Gaines, guarded by Guyton. Let's see if he can distribute the basketball and not look so much for his shot. He's 0 for 11. Gaines, drive baseline, leans in. Offensive foul.
Don't need it. Get back off the throttle just a little bit. And who's there? Fight with the read defensively. Support on the baseline. Taking the hit. Unabashed. Kevin's got to get control.
Don't play until Tuesday, so he has time to take in some college basketball.
And Gus, they go with the junk defense right now, and the difficulty, Haston got that rebound before. They've got to get everybody to rebound and try and stick people. Look at Haston setting up.
Lewis, the kick out. Guyton. One thing about Indiana, Coach, they do everything fundamentally. Everything is just great in terms of their fundamentals.
Well, they don't take bad shots. They reverse the ball. They get it in the hands of the guys who can knock shots down. Real solid. And here's the follow. Blanchard gets number 3, I believe, Gus. You miss, that generally happens. But the things you talked about, you know, they'll take the free throw shooter, they'll check out. Their post defense is active. They'll find a guy who can stroke it, hit it in. They won't force it. And particularly Guyton can raise and knock it down, but also off the dribble, and Lewis can find them.
8 points away for A.J. Guyton.
Not a good look there.
McNear picks it up. From becoming the 5th all-time leading scorer at Indiana University. Now Gaines kicks it out. Jones.
Good
McNear, nice seal. Wraps it around. Young, blocked by Newton. Now Lewis races into the front court. Straight to the basket. Nobody picked him up.
And Kevin Gaines was at the rim. He should have stepped out on the block. He could have picked up the charge and gotten it back.
Kevin Gaines has really struggled today. Ryan Ellerby has to live with the freshman. And what was Al McGuire's O-line about freshmen?
They become sophomores. Best thing about them. And you see the denial and the hustle defensively, but no Crawford either. See, the thing with Gaines is you could move him off the point, Jamal Crawford on, but right here you can see Jones with the trail, but Gaines just waiting there. He's got to run out and protect and help his teammate. Would have been a nice defensive stop. Lewis, the experienced vet, knows how to finish.
56-39. Young, Brandon Smith in the game, along with Jones and Blanchard and Gaines.
A big fight with the little discard on Blanchard.
Tonight on CBS.
Tell you what, Fife gives you everything he has out there. Good hustle. Lewis, another one of those guys. And off the dribble, Gaines.
Gaines, wild shot again. Loose ball. And it's picked up by Indiana. Shoveled ahead, A.J. Guyton, jump stop, 15-footer is pure.
And out of the frame, Lewis had been on the three-point line. So if Guyton was contested, he had a kick on the wing. He's got a middle game, a deep game, and he can get it to the rim, A.J.
58-39. Largest lead of the game for the Hoosiers.
And stepping up the D. They know they can put it away right now.
Blanchard, the kick out, Gaines. 0 for 13.
You can almost see it in his body vibrations now.
He keeps shooting. And this young man does as well. A.J. Guyton, rebounded by Haston. Jump hook. And Young with the rebound. We've been waiting for that jump hook.
We got the jump. We got to get the rolling.
And the sky.
Yeah, and the sky. He's got them all. Got a pretty good offensive game and one of those turnovers that shouldn't happen. And the hustle by Guyton.
Lewis fouled up top.
And right now the Indiana followers have to be gushing with the way their team is playing. Terrific, solid defensive stops and then countering with patience and movement.
Indiana up by 19, their biggest lead of the game.
And Gus, this looks like straight man right now. And this is a nice slip. That's that pretty. They do that as well as anybody in the country. Haston likes to screen and keeps good vision on the basketball. They finally got their man-to-man. The defensive maneuvers by Ellerby's club. And right here, here's the little screen down. We're going to right in through here. We're going to end up with the slip to the goal. Here's the screen down, and right there, just solid. And he puts the hand up, the guide hand, nice bounce pass, very catchable.
In the ball rings, number 25, Josh
Haston with 13 points. Subs coming into the game. Aslan along with Groniger, Young, and Gaines take a seat.
You know, a point guard is so hard to come along. And all of a sudden you've got two and they share it. So if one goes a little bit off their game, as Kevin Gaines is, you'd put Jamal Walker in. Ryan Ellerby doesn't have that right now. He's relying on committee pretty much. This time, you got Smith, that nice dive by Aslan. Groninger, I should say, and Leon Jones sort of by committee running the point now.
The Indiana foul called on number 11, Dane Fife.
So Dane Fife called for his fourth foul.
Number 25, Josh Aslan at the line.
Josh Aslan at the line, shooting two, a junior. Caro, Michigan. First free throw good.
Of course, poor Dane Fife comes into the building, gets booed, coming back into his home area. Everybody, a great football player and high school basketball player. A lot of people thought he was going to come to Michigan.
He was a quarterback.
Wanted to play for Bob Knight. And Aslan not starting more as a result of Young's improved play, and yet a guy that's got to help this club. Pretty good athletic, I mentioned earlier, but not a bad offensive game. Went to Newell's camp.
Inside, Hastings missed. Michigan breaks out. Jones in the front court. Picked up by Guyton.
Look at the stance by everybody. Everybody in the proper area to help. They scrape down on the post.
Travel. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA men's basketball will continue after this message and a word from your local station. (59-40), Indiana on top of Michigan. Brian Ellerby in his third year. And his wife Ingrid, according to Coach Ellerby, is the smartest person in the family. As a matter of fact, Ingrid and Coach, they invite all of the players' girlfriends over for dinner at the family house because they have to check them out.
And make sure they understand what the priorities are.
That's right.
And of course, Ingrid just so happy that things have settled down a little bit here. Chatted with her before the game. And it's been a struggle for Michigan and Michigan athletics of late. And the administration letting Brian know, according to Brian, that just keep working and plugging and things will get turned around. That's what they're going to have to do. Address a new athletic director and move in the right direction. Pretty.
Jones blocked from behind and he's fouled.
Suggested he leave California, come here, and he went to high school. And things didn't work out the first couple of years because the junior class was intact that played basketball, and he was an outsider coming in. And there's Fatima.
Leon Jones from Fremont, California. 59-42 and a whistle and foul. Meanwhile, Syracuse leading UCLA by 4 points. Kentucky getting blown out down in Baton Rouge to LSU.
How about Stromile, Swift and company? LSU beat Oklahoma State. I mean, early in the year, some solid wins.
They beat Arizona.
Beat Arizona. Oh, blew them out. Absolutely. So Joe Dean, the athletic director, he's got to be happy with the progress of that program.
Lewis baseline jumper blocked by Jones and out of bounds.
Now you look at this Michigan team, and if anything has to change for them, I think it's the defensive approach. Steve Wilmer, I'm sure Bob really interested in what Steve had to say. But the defense has to be addressed. I mean, that's where they're going to get better and get themselves into a tournament as the year progresses. And also you take something to next year. And that's the key.
Smith,
those turnovers, got to get it
off of his knee into the backcourt. And Indiana will get it back. Luke Jimenez chasing the ball for the Hoosiers, number 12, former walk-on.
And that's Brian knows your concentration level has gone down. Not into the game the way you should be. Those things happen. And Jimenez is one of those guys, doesn't turn it over, good shooter. Look at Guyton without the ball, Gus. I mean, how would you like to follow him in traffic?
Would hate it. Guyton hangs in the air and draws contact.
Oh, put a license on his derriere. You're guarding him. Get the puppies ready. I mean, always cutting, using the screen. They all assist him. So when he catches it, he generally has the cushion. Pretty good reaction by Smith to cover, and then all the support. Groninger deep. But AJ mixes up his game with getting free. I mean, all good scorers understand open areas.
Reminds me of that story about Michael Jordan and Dean Smith saying that he was the only man that could hold Michael Jordan to 16 points, but in the pros, he taught him how to score 30. Same thing with A.J. Guyton, good-looking player.
Well, you know what happens in programs like Indiana and North Carolina is they learn how to play. I mean, that's the essential part. So you bring talent with that. Oh, we didn't go for the swooper. Good luck. He's a terrific passer, Haston.
Then Washington will head to the free throw line.
Michigan foul number 25, Josh Haslund, his second personal.
I first met Bob at Army. His hair was just a little dark.
You beat him.
Oh, come on.
That's
one of those.
When you were at Seton Hall.
Well, it was with Richie Regan's players if I did win. But from day one, you knew that they were going to be a great defensive team. And he, in this conference, goes on the road consistently and wins. And all of it, I mean, they've had terrific players, is they just go after you. So he is a constant every game they're in. And then you mix in with the motion and the good sets and good shot selection. You know, you got a legitimate opportunity to win home and away.
You think Coach Knight is mellowing a bit in his old age, 59 years old?
Well, maybe last night. There's Patrick alongside of him over there. He's delighted to have him. He feels he's got a great feel of the game and brings a lot of compassion and understanding as well as his X's and O's. So I think he's enjoying his staff.
Jones, Blanchard, good look pass, baseline. Smith with the two-hand jam.
Yeah, go out with a little flash. Get after them now. I mean, play.
6 points for Brandon Smith. 62-46. Michigan in jeopardy of losing 6 straight games. There's the sky hook. That's short.
A little roller.
Kent Benson made that shot famous at Indiana. Also Landon Turner. Young. Foul from behind by Haston.
And there's a sellout by Haston. He gambled. He turns it into a foul for somebody else if he does not foul him. A nice drop step by Young. But the ability to find, this is the well-rounded performance of Lavelle as Smith able to send it in. But a nice feel because he's dragging the D and good cut there by Brandon Smith.
So Young adds the free throw. 9 points today, along with 5 rebounds. Very solid and courageous effort by this young man, Chris Young, 6'9", sophomore. Make it an even 10. 62-48.
All of a sudden, 14. Stop is what you're thinking. And look at this slip again. Oh, Haston doesn't finish.
Washington picks it up and throws it out of bounds.
Well, you got to get free, and Kirk Haston doesn't finish the play, but just an outstanding, he screens and opens up to the ball, and maybe a little foul on that, as well as Haston has a cheapie taken away.
Here's a high pick and roll. Smith, pull-up jumper. Rebounded by Washington.
What a great checkout.
Jimenez feeds the post. Haston turns and hits.
He's got a myriad of choices. Great releases and understanding of which shot to take down there.
15 points. 64-48. Jones for 3. With the rebound. And Washington comes up with it. Guyton in the open court. Down the lane. Count it. Oh, offense.
Oh, my goodness. How explosive.
Foul.
Too far under for me. But explosivity in the open floor. And Bob rightfully begging, too. But so far under the rim. I thought he was up in the air. Yeah, oh, goodness. Let it go. Should be a chance for 3. Oh. But can he turn a corner? Young posting up as the champ from Chicago who takes place here in Detroit.
Groniger off the dribble. Snatched down by Haston.
Bob turned that into a lot of fun up in.
Yeah, he certainly did.
Who's your daddy?
Northwestern fans giving Coach Knight a hard time a season ago. This year he passed out candy to him.
And he's passing out a little sweetness too. AJ Just moving and finding. You say, how can he get that free? You know he's a scorer. You want to deny him the basketball. They're the bumps and his reads. Gets himself in a position to catch the ball.
Guyton with 21 points. And the Wolverines throw it out of bounds. 7:28 to go. Second half of play. 60. Official stats.
Yeah. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. Later.
Great Indiana defense limiting Michigan to 35% shooting, and the Hoosiers shooting 55%. They also own the glass. Gus Johnson along with Bill Raftery and Indiana, they are going to be tough come March.
Well, you've got a guy like Guyton, but Lewis finding him. Their offense is always a constant, but the understanding of giving the ball up at the proper time, how to screen, how to slip. Haston terrific, and you haven't seen Haston with the hooks yet. He hasn't been able to really knock a few of them down, but his shot selection is marvelous.
Backdoor cut. Guyton picked up quickly by Smith. Now Guyton on the wing, rise and fire.
Tell you that play there, he back screen, got a screen from Haston, and then went to the opposite side. A lot of work and a good look.
Gaines with the basketball, back in the game. He's 0 for 13 from the field. The freshman from Las Vegas.
And part of it's learning to play against a team like this. Inexperience, you as freshmen years ago, you'd never get the opportunity. Under fire.
Blanchard leans in.
Oof. A lot of work. Nice little feel that time, breaking his guy down.
19 points for the true freshman. 66-50. Guyton in the corner. And he will shoot three.
And boy, that's what you call a bite. I mean, of course, when you shoot, you're retracted. A little pump, a little hitch in the head, and you're going to end up with the defender jumping out on you. I think Brandon Smith here, you can just see his job, get out on him, and right away, a lot of guys wouldn't have the strength to get it up. That had a chance, could have been a potential 4-point play. And Brandon, he's been fighting injuries. That time a little shot.
Brandon Smith is replaced.
Got another Steve Stricker alongside. There goes Brandon. Thanks him for his improvement in the offseason, how quick he was able to get back.
Indiana shooting three.
So A.J. Guyton, who leads the Big Ten in scoring, averaging 20 points per game. He has 21 today, and he is a bona fide candidate for Player of the Year in college basketball.
Now you look at these three, and we've both seen Carroll. He's done so much for that team, and A.J. run his cup. Mo Pete would be another guy you might throw in there with his play. But Kenyon Martin, just extraordinary. His ability to block shots and dominate defensively, the intimidating factor. But Guyton's so steady night in and night out. I think it depends who wins the Big Ten as to who the Player of the Year in this conference will be, and potentially nationally.
Indiana came into this game with 6 games remaining in conference play. If they win all 6, they guarantee themselves at least a part of the Big Ten title. Meanwhile, Young continuing to have an excellent game, 12 points, 10 in the second half of play.
And Jones taking a crack at Guyton now. They're always looking to pick and bump him. They get a foul here, a little discard. Jones. LSU continues to overwhelm the Cats.
Right now, Bob Knight and Ed Hightower exchanging words.
Indiana number 44, Lynn Washington. He's shooting 2.
So Lynn Washington, senior from San Jose, California, the lone junior college transfer on this team, who started 14 games last year, adds 2 free throws. He has 9 points, 70-52. Indiana. Here's the weave.
Their post people for Indiana get free in the lane. Washington being another one. We mentioned Haston. Just their screening and rescreening gets them free. All perimeter here. Got to go to the 10.
Knocked away by Guyton.
Look at the numbers, Gus.
Indiana, nice look. Washington.
And Lewis on a platter.
And Lewis, who leads the team with 5 assists per game, has 7 today to go along with his 11 points.
Where they are right in the lane.
Blanchard. Foot on the line. That's 2.
See, the difference right now is Michigan can't come back and stop. Indiana has the potential to stop. Off the ball, the continuing flow of the screens.
Haston, turnaround jump shot in traffic. Young with the rebound, is 6th.
Good cut by Blanchard.
Gaines wide open.
Knock one down.
0 for 14.
Well, you feel for him. Just keep playing. I mean, part of growing up, retaliation is part of this. It may not happen this year, but at some point, he will make people pay.
Young man also plays a lot of minutes. 31.4 per game. AJ, nice pass. Washington reverse layup.
Because he was looking up at Spike on that one. Everybody with the head fake, the deft little bounce.
Special effects. 74 to 54 IU.
That was pretty.
Groninger rattles down.
Just matches, doesn't do him much good. Tee it up, guys. Hey, look, Ty, you mentioned the minutes. Young down in the paint. He's a little bit exhausted. Look at this hedge. He can't recover the slip by Haston. That's how tough. Well, Chris wishes he were forever young. But Guyton on the penetration. And watch the look up into the stands. Is that pretty enough? Use the rim to ward off. Just sensational. Breaking the D down. Now that had flair, Gus, for good reason.
No question. So Haston also with a very solid outing. 15 points, 6 rebounds, make it 16 and 6. Subs coming into the game for Michigan. Brandon Smith, Aslan, and McNear come in. Young takes a seat along with Blanchard and Jones. Blanchard with 21 points, 11 in the second half of play.
The staff there knows the route man. Brian Elby, Scott Trost, Curtis Townsend, Lorenzo Neely, Tom Saboro. It's a struggle when you play Indiana. Got to have everything going.
AJ Guyton, the go-to guy for Indiana, looking out for his teammates here. Michigan 76-57 our score. Gaines, Vigneer, Aslan, Groninger, and Brandon Smith for the Wolverines. Now Gaines baseline finds Aslan and he slams it home.
With the darty too. Well, he's got to let the coach know he wants to play. Nice little slide to the tin.
Young has done a good job for Michigan, so Aslan is going to have to really do a little bit better. Guyton to the basket.
Or does he blow by people? I mean, he's got that extra lift.
That extra gear.
Well, I think the best friend Brian Ellerby has is the bench. Would you say? In terms of Aslan or Young or even on the outside position, you don't play the way I want. I'll move you in and out. But I just think it's a hard time right now emotionally. Right at the end there, Jamal Crawford, getting him back is so important to the depth, his talent.
He was the leading scorer at 16 a game before the suspension.
Yeah, 41% shooting, 78 free throw shooting. As Vigneer able to light it up. It's really been the perimeter that's been the problem. Valuing the ball, turning it over.
8 points for Vigneer. 4 rebounds. Haston all alone.
And that's all by virtue of screening. Deployment. Extraordinary. Consistently for about 9 years.
For complete game stats, go to cbs.sportsline.com. Points off turnovers. 24 for Indiana. That's the story. They have really forced the turnovers. Gotten off on the break and Scored a lot of easy baskets, Bill.
They sure did. Off their defense, and now when they run their half court, a guy that used to run it pretty good, Dan Dockage, former assistant coach, Mid-American Conference, Bowling Green. They had a win last night. He's out celebrating 66 versus Miami 65, and you know, just
that's Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, Miami of Ohio. He's 18-6 and 10-4, so he's taking a lot of the finer points of Bob Knight and taking them to Bowling Green. So look for big things from BG and Dan Dockage. By the way, guarded Michael Jordan rather effectively, I might add.
19 points for Haston. Terrible shot by Blanchard.
More of an inexperienced release there.
Don't forget, coming up next, final round coverage of the Buick Invitational. Can Tiger make it 7 in a row?
The line for the Hoosiers, number 50,
so at the free throw line for Indiana, Jeffrey Newton, 6'9", 215, freshman from Atlanta. Very good student. 10-10 on the SAT.
Indiana substitution.
And Newton today, 9 rebounds. So everybody contributing. And A.J. Guyton takes the seat, and he leaves with 23 points.
Now, you mentioned Jeffrey Newton. He can run the floor as well. Gets himself free, can find people underneath. Confident. Makes the 15-footer. I like the way he's able to get to the rim with the dribble, too. Not the right angle. And maybe a catchable pass necessary to deliver. They extend the floor, Gus.
Full court pressure now by Michigan. Foul in the backcourt.
Michigan foul number 34, Brandon Smith, his 4th personal.
Brandon Smith called for the foul. Wolverines over the limit, so Lewis will shoot.
The line for Indiana, number 24, Michael Lewis, shooting 2.
Michael Lewis, 13 points. He's dropped off 7 assists, grabbed 3 rebounds. And that's what you want. You want veteran players, coach, especially your point guard, that can not only hit the open shot, but also make good decisions on the floor. That's what Michigan is lacking right now.
You need the leader, the extension. He's got a toughness about him, too. I mean, he's willing to suck it up, whatever has to be done. Very aggressive performer. I think a lot of people react to him for this on this Indiana team.
Here's Groninger, short.
Look at Lewis. He checked Aslan out.
How about that?
And they usually switch small to small. That time, Lewis switched small to big. He took Aslan.
So with Michigan State winning yesterday at Wisconsin, Indiana win today, and they keep pace with the Spartans along with Ohio State. Baseline pull-up, nice. His touch by Newton.
He's got a nice game. Odell in the game as well. One of those guys that does a lot of little things to make this team better. They go a little deeper than people suspect.
Blanchard straightaway 3. Another rebound for Lewis. 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 15 points.
Indiana calls.
Bob calls timeout, but he just wants to put subs in. They're going to keep playing. They're going to keep playing.
In for the Hoosiers,
83-61, back in a moment. Back at Michigan. Shot off the front of the rim. And the Wolverines come the other way with 1:13 to go. Smith for 3. Substitutes in the game for both teams. Pretty. So if you're Michigan,
remaining in the game.
you have really taken it on the chin last 5 games.
Brandon Smith.
What does Brian Ellerby tell his team to get it motivated for the stretch run?
I think this is a step forward today, believe it or not. There were more signs today than against Ohio State. So I think you take the good parts, and address them. And obviously anything that I think defensively is where they've got to grow in some toughness. And then don't rush the offense. You know, you get some runouts, but when you're forced to play half court, not the first thing that comes to mind. You want to be a good shooter, good with the pound, good post passer out there as well as Jimenez, a guy that can make deep shots. Lines it up.
24 seconds to go in the ball game. Indiana 86, Michigan 63. Backside Groniger. Indiana will improve to 18-4 on the year. And Michigan will fall to 12-9.
They scored a goal too.
And the final from Ann Arbor. The Hoosiers defeat the Wolverines 86-65. Another win for Bob Knight. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are from Indiana, Michael Lewis, great all-around game, 15 points, 5 of 7 from the field, 7 and to assist those in financial need. A.J. Guyton, big game for Indiana, 23 points. Haston had 19 points, and he also came down with 6 rebounds. So for Bill Raftery, this is Gus Johnson saying so long from Ann Arbor, where the final score is Indiana on top of Michigan 86-65. This has been a